And over here with the German Satetllite, I left everything washed, and that was pretty much it, which is why I decided to pack it away. Otherwise, there's probably a couple dozen small pieces that go here and there. It's going to be relatively straightforward. I gotta pre-paint a lot of it just to keep it easy on myself, but a number of things can go automatically on there. I do have to dig up the instructions because I don't know quite where they are. However, I do have a good couple suspicions and leads, so I'll be following up on those. Not much else to say here, except that I'm going to store these brass pipes in with this box to keep it safe. There we have it, the 11 remaining ones of these guys. There's still some X-Acto work to make sure that they're sitting flush, and they're definitely not easy to handle being as small as they are. Yeah, so I can only get these so flat with the Dremel sander there. And these pieces are ready to be glued onto the body. They are, however, the one piece that has no instructions listed for where they go or when they go on. All the little pieces have been put on. This has one full coat of primer over everything. The only place where it went bad is where it doesn't matter, which really helps out. There are a couple other little places where there's little pinholes of gases pouring through, and essentially that will never go away, unfortunately. A lot of it all around here, I guess I didn't scrub as well as I should have on a couple of these areas here. But mostly, the worst of it is the place that gets hidden by the top module here. So, it doesn't even matter, which is awful handy. These panels went together fairly well for the most part, but there are a couple places where the fit could certainly be better. That could be results of age of the parts having gone warped over time. This is 6, 7, 8-year-old kit. And also the alignment of where everything went, and essentially I tried to get it flat and perpendicular all around these edges to the body, but when they came up next to each other, that's probably the worst crack right in there. Perhaps this isn't so good either. And as you can see from here, I have destroyed more of this fine, delicate lattice work that was here than probably remains at this point, unfortunately. A lot of these little knobs have broken off. Let's see, where's a really bad one? All of those guys there, all along the middle. It's really unfortunate. This is really fine resin work, and when I got it I was shocked at how delicate everything was, and now handling it, it's just all crumbling away, unfortunately. So that's definitely a lesson to be learned from this one here. One thing I found, and one thing which also happens to lead to more damage to the pieces, is that when this was rotocast, essentially it's hollow, so they just put a certain amount of resin in, spun it until it had all cured. Unfortunately, this didn't spin long enough for the amount that was in there, and it's weighted. So essentially this spun for a little while, then it sat, and then all of a sudden there's the resting place of all the excess resin that hadn't cured by then. Unfortunately, it's this side here, and this happens to be the top. So if it just gets the littlest of tilts, it's going to go back to its default side, which is this one here. That's unfortunate, because once this is all topped up, if it had been on either of the lower sides, maybe it wouldn't have been so bad. But that it's right there means this is going to go crashing probably more often than not. However, as I am mounting this on a wall plaque, I think I've come up with a way to get a silver lining out of that. And that is, the excess weight is all along this panel here, as evidenced by the drilling holes for one of these was really, really deep, and then all the rest were light, which surprised me. And it turns out, while this is the top, this is the side panel, rather than drilling holes into these sides and destroying the details there, I can drill a hole in that circle itself, and I still have to figure out where the center of balance is, but it's most likely going to be here on these two panels. So if I had one hole here and the other there as a counterbalance, then I think that will be the most secure way to mount this onto the wood. And I still haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to be doing that. I expect the mounts here will lead to templates to go onto the plaque, but we'll get to that point when we get to it. In the meantime, so there's a drilling project. Either both of these panels or probably one of each of those, since that circle is natural there. That really helps out a lot, and I can put a bigger hole in here for the main support, and this just be a counterbalancing force. I do have to do that for all the models too.